And welcome back to the hot stage on what was an absolutely legendary World Rally Championship event in Japan. I mean, you could make a whole movie about that, let alone this awesome championship alone. I mean, it is getting close now. Who is going to win? Who failed? Who faltered? And who was victorious in Rally Japan? So as you can see, spoiler alert, Seb Ogier was victorious. It was a very close and very hard fought rally between him and Elfyn Evans. Both of them absolute legends. They were faster than anyone else. They were in a league of their own. I mean, they were in Rally 1. Everyone else was in Rally 1.5 seemingly. But credit where credit's due, because Sammy Pajari, it was a rally about survival really. And he ended up finishing third, making it how Toyota 1-2-3, but his first ever podium. So big up to Sammy Pajari. Absolutely well done, fully deserved. A really good one. At times he was very, very quick as well. And once again, the big thing is he survived. That was the big thing coming out for Sammy Pajari. And let's not forget the championship challenger and still your championship leader, Elfyn Evans. And at some point, I'm not exactly sure which stage, but he got his 200th stage win. So well done, Elfyn. Fingers crossed though for you winning the championship. Now in terms of the championship, we'll get into that. We'll get into how close it is in a sec. But these were the final results. It was Seb Ogier, 11.6 seconds down was Elfyn Evans. Sammy Pajari, 2 minutes 16 down. Tanak, gave it a good one. He is now officially out of the World Championship. And also, big news on Tanak in a second. We've got Gregor Monster in 5th, 6 minutes 48 seconds down. Kalle Rovanperä, 7 minutes down. He really was reining in Gregor Monster. But, to be fair to Gregor, he kept his cool. Absolutely well done to him. And then we've got the Rally 2. Yeah, top 6. No Hyundais there. I cannot remember the last time that has happened. No Hyundais around the top. It was just, a 1, 2, 3. One Hyundai. I mean, I said no Hyundais, obviously. Yeah, that's just absolutely crazy. Now, let's talk about the Rally World Championship. Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin on 272. Seb Ogier, 3 points in at 269. Kalle Rovanperä is technically still in the title fight. Could he win it? Absolutely. It is out of his control. He's going to need something to happen to both Elfyn and Ogier. But as we saw in this rally, Kalle Rovanperä, very early on, ended up damaging his car and having to, let's just say, very much limp home, fix it with a spanner, literally a spanner attached to the suspension, and then continue. I mean, that was absolutely amazing in itself, isn't it? But this championship is getting really close. So 272 for Evans, 269 for Ogier, 248 for Kalle. As I said, Kalle could still win it mathematically. It's not going to be easy, but who is going to win the title? Seb Ogier is arguably the on-form man, but Elfyn's brought the fight to him. And Elfyn and Seb Ogier, it's basically whoever finishes ahead of the other is going to be champion in Saudi Arabia. The big question mark over Saudi Arabia is no one's been there. We haven't been there before. No one's, the experience. You can't test there. So what's interesting, who's going to have the advantage going in? Well, Seb Ogier does have the experience. However, Elfyn Evans is so meticulous, him and Scott Martin, with their notes on a rally that you've never been to. So on their pace notes, on the recce, could that be Elfyn's saving grace where he beats Ogier? It'll be an absolutely legendary if he does win it. Now let's move on to Hyundai. Oh my lord. This was one of their worst rallies I can remember for years. It was absolutely shocking. I mean, no comment from Terry Neuville. I mean, let's be honest. Yes, we are going to be doing our winners and losers. He's kind of like a default. Just don't bother talking about him. We will, but he's not even in. He's not even in the conversation. He's come out saying definitely not our weekend. Yep, that's the understatement of the rally. We had to retire due to a wipers issue on the last day. Wipers? What? with the heavy rain, it was simply it was simply impossible to continue. We'll reset and come back stronger. Wipers. What's going on? What is going on? So, Adrian Faumaux and Alex Coy also forced to retire with the damage sustained in an off on Sunday's first stage, causing too much damage to safely continue. Yeah, I mean, where's my door? It's gone. What happened was, I think he had an accident into the scenery, which then opened the door and then was collected by a tree or something. I think we've got the footage here in a bit. I mean, look at the damage. There's no door in the Hyundai, and yeah, they couldn't safely continue. I mean, it was absolutely busted. Now, we all know rally is a dangerous sport, but miracle upon miracles that someone was not more seriously hurt. It's wow. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, look, there's no door. I don't know. They are so lucky that no one was hurt. I mean, that's just crazy. Here's there you go. That's the door going. This is when it happened. Into the scenery. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Door gone. I mean, he just basically not even understeer. He just aims towards the woods, doesn't he? It's almost like his TomTom told him the wrong way. And if I was the co-driver, I would be crying about now. That's just mental. Okay. And is this another? Yeah. I mean, look at that. This the damage. This is it again. Look, into the scenery. Badonk. It's just so crazy. Only in rally can you finish this. Can you finish up with yeah? I've arrived without a door. Thank you very much. So there we go. Now let's talk about something that this is something that made me very, very sad. I was gunning for Taka to win the rally, and at some points it looked like he had the grapefruits to win. He was doing so well, but in classic Taka, it's a Takaism now, isn't it? Always, it's his rubber stamp. It's his brand. Sadly, he was doing so well, and then suddenly he wasn't doing so well. And what I found so frustrating is the fact that this did not need to happen. It was a silly mistake followed by a ridiculous mistake. And it was the ridiculous mistake that put him out the rally. It basically damaged his power steering. He fixed it. They sort of fixed it. I mean, you can see in the picture him grimacing. This was the mistake. He goes in far too hot and then hits the barrier. But what is interesting is the second time he hits the barrier that does the damage. So there you go. Okay, too much. Hits that. Oh, and it's that does the damage. It's that bit that does the damage. Here we go. Comes in far too hot, but clonks the clonks almost the arm coat, and that one there that does the damage. That one there. It was just pure frustration, and it's just so depressing, isn't it? Should we see that again? He comes in. He hits here because he comes in too hot. Okay, goes through. Okay, at this point, his power steering is not damaged. It's not too bad. You can see on the cars looking a bit there, but then he's like, I believe it's pure frustration, immaturity, maybe inexperience. Instead of reversing, he's like, oh no, I need to save time. So, and these things are filled with water, which Taka would know. He knows they're filled with water, so why did he do it again? And that's it. And then it breaks the power steering. I imagine he doesn't feel it at first. It slowly leaks, and there we go. I mean, Taka, this was him at the stage end.
You must be
look at it.
Exhausted.
He's distraught.
We're all gutted for you. What happened in there?
He's crying. Look, it is heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry.
We're sorry too. It sounds savage.
Sorry, Taka.
He's only got himself to blame. I know that's a horrible thing, but it was Taka's fault. I don't think unless you're gonna blame his co-driver, he went in there too hot. Okay, but then it was the frustration, putting it, flooring it and trying to get back on the track rather than thinking clearly, which I think shows a level of. I'm not saying immature like a child. I'm just saying in terms of immaturity, in relation to keeping calm, which is very difficult in those situations. I couldn't do it. Keeping calm, thinking about it, reversing the car, or getting back on without having to ram through those water-filled heavyweight barriers again. Taka himself said, day 3, unfortunately, I hit a water barrier to the front on SS11, then got damaged. We'll do our best to earn points on the final day. Yeah, it was heartbreaking for him. But it's his own doing. I know. So, if that wasn't enough, Tanak comes out a couple of hours after the rally going, yeah, I'm done. He retires. The 2019 World Champion will leave Hyundai and quit full-time rallying at the end of the 2025 season. Now, there are rumours of him maybe wanting to go to another team. Probably wouldn't be M-Sport. Would it be Toyota? Maybe. I mean, he kind of like goes through teams like he's going out of fashion. But he is a very fast driver. So why, it'd be interesting to see why, if it ever comes out, why he did depart Hyundai. It was clear he didn't want to stay there. He was frustrated with the car. I think Toyota may well be thought. Is Ollie Solberg going to Toyota? People are now suggesting he's going to Hyundai. But I don't know why he would. Toyota seem to be a bit more invested in him, but we don't know. There is a press conference on the 10th of November, as in tomorrow, when I think they're going to announce their driver announcement. And obviously, Tanak is not going to be one of them. He said this is not a final goodbye to rallying. It's simply a chance to reset, recharge, and refocus. Maybe a year out will do him well. I mean, let's be honest, Callie had a year out, and he was now, he's still fighting for that title. Cyril Bittel has come out, the team principal, and said, while we were sad to learn of Ott's decision, we naturally understand his motivation to step away from full-time rallying. Now, the big question is, who's going to be in that seat? Who is going to be in that seat? This is the announcement. He said, this is Ott Tanak's announcement. He said, after an incredible journey in the World Rally Championship and many unforgettable seasons competing at the highest level, I've decided to take a break from full-time rallying. This choice has not been easy, but it feels right, the right moment to pause, to reflect, and to dedicate. He's talking about dedicating more time to his family in Estonia. He's talking about motorsport. It's changed his life since childhood. Early days on local rallies to standing on the top step of the WRC podiums. This sport has shaped who I am. Every stage, every corner, every challenge has taught me something about resilience and passion. He's saying in many ways it's been a wild roller coaster full of heartbreaking, breathtaking highs and humbling lows. It's been a ride that's tested every part of me, physically, mentally and emotionally. I do think rallying is one of the hardest motorsports out there. You can take your Formula One and shove it in terms of how hard rallying is, in terms of the focus you need. In Formula One, you're you're pampered, aren't you? Between the races, etc. You don't have to go down and fix your own tyre, for example. So he said, I would like to take this moment to thank everyone who's been a part of the story. First and foremost to all my sponsors since the beginning. With your support, we wouldn't be here. Estonian motorsport wouldn't be what it is now without your dedication. He wouldn't be there. And I think it's really good. He said, to the rally community and fans, you've been an incredible source of motivation. The energy at the service parks, the messages of support after difficult weekends or victories. For years, there's been no WRC event without Estonian flag. That's impressive. These are the things that kept me going. I'm truly grateful for your support on every twist and turn of this journey. I bumped into Tanak during the Goodwood Festival of Speed this year. He actually sat behind me, I think, with his wife. I was like, oh my gosh, that's Tanak. I wished him luck for the next rally, saying, in my opinion, one of the fastest drivers out there. I still think he is. And this is the thing here. This is not a final goodbye to rallying. It's simply a chance to reset, recharge and refocus. I still love the sport deeply and I'm sure I'll continue to be around in one way or another, he says. Rallying will always be a part of me and I'll always be proud what we've achieved together. As I look back on this incredible chapter, I do so with gratitude and humility. It's been a hell of a ride, a journey that I will cherish forever, he says. Thank you for everyone who's shared this chapter with me. For now, it's time to slow down, take a breath and enjoy its quieter roads. See you somewhere down the road. Sincerely, Ott Tanak. I'm feeling a bit melancholy, a bit sad reading that. Now I want him to win the Saudi Arabian rally now. In Saudi Arabia, it's like, Calais, who's retiring. I mean, two of the biggest people of this current generation gone. This is the motorsport.com. He's going to He's obviously not ruling out competitive outings in the future. He's 38 and he's made the decision as he chooses to dedicate more of his time to his family. Tanak has been a part in 174 WRC level rallies since his debut all the way in 2009. He's been a consistent front runner since 2017. 58 podium finishes. He's had 22 victories, and that's across the 3 rally teams at the moment: M Sport, Ford, Toyota and Hyundai. Obviously 2019 ending a decade and a half of dominance by French legends Seb Ogier and Sebastian Loeb. Thank goodness, because that was getting boring, wasn't it, if you're a rally fan. His 5-year 2-part spell at Hyundai has seen him take rally wins and consistent podium finishes every year. His results and behaviour earned him praise from Cyril Abittel. It's obviously, we've said what he thinks. And he's talking about that Ott has been a true inspiration on and off the stages, and we thank him for his contributions to the success of our team. Tanak thanked the fans on the Hyundai. His last rally is going to be in 2 weeks' time. Wow. There we go. So, here we are then, and we are going to be talking about the winners and losers of WRC Japan. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, I'm still trying to get over the fact that Kalle Rovanperä and Ott Tanak have basically they're retired. They're gone. It's just I'm flabbergasted. It's just absolutely insane. They're gone. They're going. I mean, wow. Okay. Think. Right. Back on point. We're talking the WRC winners and losers from Japan, starting with the default, as in, like, I'm saying this guy is not even classified because his Hyundai was such a disaster, and that is Terry Neuville. I mean, no, nada, nothing. I'm not even gonna comment on it, simply because, okay, moving on. So the first of the losers, and I almost hate to do this, but it's not McLaren. It's this guy. I mean, talking about shooting yourself in the foot. So he goes in, he clips the barrier, he goes through the water barriers. At that point, his car has got, I believe, cosmetic damage. And then he's like, well, I need to get back on the track. So I'm going to go through the heavy water barriers again. Oops, a daisy, my car's broken, my power steering's gone. I know it's heartbreaking, but he's only got himself to blame. He could have been potentially the winner or a podium finisher in Japan, but Taka made sure that Taka didn't get a podium finish or didn't challenge for the win again at his home rally. Now we've got the man that basically wanted to go home early, just throw it into the scenery. Not particularly good at all, but it wasn't his home rally. He's a rookie. That's the reason I put him slightly above Taka. I said only slightly because I'm so cross with Taka. You could have won. Next up again, Adrian Faumaux, another guy that was doing stupendously, looking at a really solid podium, potentially at times challenging Elvin Evans, who ended up finishing second. Stage wins. And then he goes, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. I don't know what that accent was. It was but anyway, it's meant to be Michael Caine from the Italian Job. But yeah, Adrian Faumaux got one of the 2 doors off, didn't he? And it's disappointing, isn't it, really? It'll be interesting to see when we look back on his Hyundai career and see whether it was successful or not. Because he was so good at M Sport last year, and I know he was pushing. But I think you shouldn't be doing things, kind of a bit like Taka. At this stage, you shouldn't be doing things like that. You shouldn't be making those kind of mistakes. So speaking of mistakes, and speaking of throwing yourself potentially out of the World Championship, Kalle Rovanperä, all it takes is one hit. That's what he did on the first day, damaging his suspension. They had to fix it. They did a marvellous job, but then he did an absolutely fantastic job at coming back, didn't he? He was so good, so fast, nearly getting Gregor Monster, but not. But once, like Taka, he's only got himself to blame. But the problem is in rally, it just takes that one mistake and that's it. Then that's why these guys, he is a world champion, obviously. Double world champion. That's why people like Kalle are so amazing overall. But in this particular rally, maybe not so much. Next up, we've got Ott Tanak, the guy who's retiring, finishing 4th, about a minute away from a podium. Once again, Hyundai issues. You can't really blame him too much. He was fast. I think Hyundai showed that given, I wouldn't even say the right conditions, but maybe with the right setup and the confidence, that their car is just as fast as the Toyota. But yeah, they just can't put it together. It'll be interesting to see what happens next year. So, just off the podium is this man here, Gregor Monster. I know I take the mick out of him all the time, but I'm gonna I'm gonna have to eat that humble pie because this man did good. You did good, Gregor. Pat yourself on the back. A 5th place finish overall. Yeah, he survived where hardly anyone else did. Brilliant stuff. Should give him a lot of confidence in what was a really difficult rally. 3rd. It's quite boring, really, this podium. You'll see why. But Pajari. So, yeah, I mean, we've been criticising him. I have all year. Where will the real Sammy please stand up? Now, granted, you're talking about a 2 minutes, 16 seconds behind the eventual winner. But still, once again, like Gregor Monster, he survived. And his reward was 3rd place and his first podium. Well done. So, the 2nd place finish also goes for the guy that finished 2nd in the rally, Elfyn Evans. What an absolute challenge that he gave to Seb Ogier. And he is an absolute masterclass in the wet. I think the only difference between him and Ogier, this in Japan, I mean, we're talking 11.6 seconds. That was all to do with confidence in the car. In terms of ability, yeah, Elfyn could have won it. Just, but he just wasn't confident enough. I think in the car, I don't think he questions his abilities. And let's not forget that in the, I think it was SS18 or SS9, SS18, where he went off down a mini valley, down the hill and back up. I thought, oh my God, championship over. I was watching that and live at the time. And I thought, oh my, I've definitely woken my neighbours or the other half, or the wife of upstairs or the kids. This is not good at all. Yeah, but it was like a heart-stopping, hand-in-mouth moment, but he got over it. But yeah, well done, Evans. Not quite perfect, but who was pretty much perfect was this guy here, Seb Ogier. After his whoops-a-daisy, supposedly caused by a tyre puncture at the last rally in Central Europe, where he did hit the scenery, he'd come back really strong. And it was the best we've seen of Seb Ogier, under pressure from Elfyn Evans, and at times both Faumaux and Takamoto Katsuta. But he ended up, he reigned supreme. And now he's 3 points. It's, many people will now think he's the favourite to win it. He's the on-form driver. The problem is rally, as we know, is never say never. Simply because you don't know what's going to happen round the next corner, let alone round the next stage or the next rally. So there we go. That's pretty much it. Well done to Seb Ogier. A fantastic job. If you are not subscribed, please consider giving us a subscribe. That'll be absolutely amazing. We're here for all your rally content. We almost post every day, but not quite. Nearly every day. But you just watching this is more than enough for us. But until then, we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much. But above all else, stay safe.